Hey, Daddy, welcome to another episode of Nightmare Road. I, of course, am one of your hosts. I am the greatest. I am the man with the biggest arms in all of Idaho. I am the people's champ. I am the one with the power, the man of the hour, the man that is way too sweet to be sour. I am Decon. And before we begin this whole thing, let me tell you something, Daddy. There's a ghost out there that is tormenting your house. And I know that he's tormenting your house. And he keeps coming in there, Daddy. And I have something to say to him. They call you the Phantom, the Shade, the Graveyard Ghoulie. But tonight, I have something to say to you. Your new name will be the Jabroni. And you think you can float in here, phase through the ropes, and scare me? Huh, Daddy? Well, let me tell you something, Daddy. I survived the tables, ladders, and chair match with a broken arm, in a wheelchair, and in a coma. And I won that match, Daddy, and I became the new champion of Idaho, Daddy. I was the potato champ. And let me tell you one thing, Daddy. Today, I've kicked out a tombstone pile drivers. I've been shot in the face and kicked out. I got the best chill in the air, and I've got the best hair, kinda, on my face. And what do you bring to the table, Daddy? What do you bring? A spooky whisper, a cold chill in the air. Well, you don't impress me, Daddy. You don't impress me at all. But tonight, I'm not just gonna pin you in this ring, Daddy. I'm gonna pin you to this dimension, Daddy. So you better believe that. That's all I gotta say to you. So bring your cold spots, bring your chains, bring your creepy moans, because when that bell rings, Daddy, it's gonna be lights out for your afterlife. So let me tell you, you gotta get ready to rest and piss. You're gonna be ready to rest and piss after I'm done with you, Daddy. Beetlejuice, you might be out there too. Well, you're next. And I am also here with my co-host, the Queen of the Macabre, the Queen of all things spooky that go bump in the night, Laura Slasher.
Oh, hi. That's great.
Oh, thanks. So tonight's episode is brought to you by Lottie. So guys, go on ahead and type in the promo code Nightmare for 15% off your order over $30. Also brought to you by Shaun Burris, the Ghost Man, over at Groceries and Ghost at the Shadow Nation podcast. So check him out on YouTube. Also by Static Voices, Paranormal Unveiled. He's got a book out there. Check it out, guys. It's pretty good. It's downloading your favorite photographs of all your decons, of all your static voices, of all your paranormal fans. So it's downloading paranormal erotica, Daddy. And you can find a link to that book in the description. So be there or be square. It's also brought to you by okay, I gotta drop that act. It's also brought to you by T Public. Head on over, get yourself some merch. It's all good stuff. So you can go ahead and do that. So that's it. That's all I got, I think.
Probably.
Yeah, that's all I got. So what are we talking about tonight?
Um, Horror things, movies, and things.
So yeah, so we're talking about all things spooky, Halloween movies and books and all that good shit.
Mhm.
So anyway, so when you think Halloween, what is the first what is the first thing that comes to mind?
Like in general, or you mean like movies?
In general.
Halloween. Um, okay. I mean, like if we're talking just like anything, like somebody says Halloween and like immediately just like orange and pumpkins, but like that's kind of just like every day here. Like
Or
my doors are orange and my room is black. So like,
oh yeah, you're definitely like the Halloween queen because you have like for no fucking reason like jack-o'-lanterns and all that shit. you know,
Big old
s-
Frankenstein head.
little Frankenstein heads and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, for me, it when I think that, I think Reformation Day,
Yeah.
and I watched a documentary on it today. It's a tradition, and
Hmm.
so that's what I got going. But also scary movies of all kinds, books, movies, and all that kind of shit. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna ask you this question. I don't know if I've ever asked you this before. I think I have. Actually, I think I might have asked it today. What is the scariest movie that?
You did ask me today that I've watched.
Yeah, that like really bothered you. That you're like, oh fuck.
Um, okay, that gave me like actual didn't really want to like turn off the lights completely was The Strangers.
Yeah, that's to make sense because it's not like paranormal, like
Hmm.
shit coming through the thing. These are people coming to your door to kill you,
Yeah,
and they're
and
and they're wear
it
and they're
happens.
and they're wearing masks.
Doesn't bother me as much. It's just the people that come into the house and they want to kill you, you know?
Should have insurance to go get therapy. Um, so
I'm fine.
yeah, no, that's a real realistic thing. You know what's funny
Mhm.
is people that get bothered by things like the strangers, they like don't worry about like their own home security, and it's like, well, what happened if you got? Are you prepared? No, like, okay, so this movie was enough to scare you, but not enough to get you to think. It's kind of like,
I feel like you're aiming this towards somebody very specific.
no, I'm not. I'm talking about people in general
Mm.
because this was no, I'm really not.
No, yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that will watch like The Strangers, and then when they talk about it, somebody did a segment on this. I don't remember who it was. I don't remember if it was Steven Crowder who was talking to people that watch things like The Strangers, but they were like anti-gun, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
so it's like, so you're perfectly, this, yeah, it's scary because it really happens, and then it's like, but you're not ready at all. Well, no, I don't like guns, and it's like, okay,
Yeah, no. That's not a thing for me.
not for you. I didn't aim this at you.
Yeah, well, you do all the time. Um it's like the whole like I'm not anti-gun or anything. I'm just not prepared, you know.
Yeah, well, things got to
But it
change.
but it does freak me. It did freak me out. Actually, like I watched it a really really long time ago with my mom, and it was like the middle of the day that we watched it, and for about a week we were just like hearing random noises, like in the house. That happens all the time anyway, but it freaked us out more just because of the movie.
Yeah, because it's a reality. I mean, the horror, like they're gonna come in, they're gonna kill you for what reason?
Hmm.
For no reason. Does that
Does
even
the
make does that make it scarier? Like the fact there's like, why are you doing this? And it's like, because you're home.
Yeah. Okay, so
Hmm.
like im- the sense of like I guess like just being uneasy with that movie. Can you imagine? That's what Richard Ramirez did. It's Random Houses.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like how scared? No, you can't even imagine how scary that is. Like that's insane to go through. Like it's scary enough just like watching it. I can't even imagine like that happening.
That's my fantasy. Like I want motherfuckers to come in here and are like, we're gonna kill you because you're home. Like, oh no, and like lead them into the house. Yeah.
Just leave it unlocked.
Yeah, just
Oh
like leave it
no,
like,
it'd be a
oh,
shame if you came
did I
inside.
did I leave the window unlocked like I'm some kind of sick woman, Anyway,
Okay.
so yeah, so that movie is I get it. For a lot of people, like for me, the scariest movie, I've told you this before, the scariest movie that till this very day holds up is Cujo.
Very
Because
realistic also.
it's very realistic. That's a big of Saint Bernard. If you ever see a Saint Bernard in person, they are gigantic
Yep.
drool machines. It's like a dog that's like over 200 pounds.
And their feet are so huge.
They're gigantic
They're
because
huge.
they were bred to run in the snow, like to. So like the
Like
larger the
snowshoes.
paws.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So especially here in Idaho, like imagine if Cujo starts chasing you, he's running through that snow like it's nothing.
Yeah.
You're in,
No.
and your feet are sinking, and you're like, holy shit, you know.
No. No.
To
You're gone.
I saw that as a kid, you know, that they were trapped. Have you seen that? Like when they're trapped in the car and they
Yeah.
try to like escape, and the dog just comes in, mauls the woman.
Mhm.
The kid's screaming. It's hot as shit. There's, you know, they're gonna die of heat stroke.
Yeah.
And and the kid, I just felt like as a kid, I was scared. As an adult, I feel so bad because they have moments where they're just playing games in the car because she has to distract them, and then
Mhm.
they're laughing, and then she kind of like rolls the window down and looks out. The fucking dog comes in and like grabs her shoulder, and he's like tearing into her.
Mhm.
You
And that's
know,
how quick it is with, like, you know, actual dogs or, like,
yeah.
not movie dogs. Like, it's fat it's scary. Dogs
Well,
can be really scary, like,
well,
you know, because 'cause they're huge, some of them.
there was a guy that he researched dogs, right? He's researched the canid species, not just dogs, but like every kind of dog. He says that as soon as he learned a lot of things about dogs, that's when he made a decision where he's like, I will never allow a dog in my house. And they're like,
Yeah.
why? And he said,
Mhm.
because he says, look at it like this. He says, dogs are monsters that we allow in the house. You
Yeah,
know, he
they're
says,
all that's happening is they're choosing not to attack you,
yeah.
and they
And
can change their mind.
well, yeah, and that's the thing is when you look at what a dog is, a dog is basically something that has a bite force of over 400 pounds, depending on the breed. You know, they imagine 400 pounds at an inch point into your skin and just like putting pressure
Mhm.
per square inch.
Yeah.
You know, that's enough to shatter your femur like it's nothing.
Mhm.
And there's dogs out there, like for example, you have the wolf, which some of them, the larger species, have a bite force of 1,400 pounds.
And also, they are huge.
They're gigantic. You
At
know what?
first at first, I didn't know, like, how big like, but then I found out, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, they're
let me
giant.
just not get close to that because that's
Just
crazy."
like Roland.
Well, I
Roland,
was
come
gonna
here.
say, you're like, "They're monsters," and you have, like, this dog the size of a full-grown man.
Come here, man.
Look at how
Like,
big his head is.
look how big. Look at this.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But he's
But
okay.
he's so but look at him.
Yeah, and
And
he's
he's
old.
so old. He's all
He's
gray.
he's all gray like me.
It's
So yeah, and that's the thing, man. It's just like when you have dogs, they're monsters. They can fuck you up. And when you look at a dog's tooth, like under a microscope, their teeth actually have like microscopic little feathers designed to like
oh,
give you punctures. So when they release, like your wound doesn't close. It's
yeah,
designed to
yeah.
bleed. And what's the scariest part? We're gonna move on, but the scariest part about a dog is that a dog, no matter what the canine species is, they'll eat you asshole first because they get a thrill out of listening to something scream as they're dying. Like a
Yeah.
cat, people are like mountain lions are so scary, but a tiger, a lion, all these things will jump and grab you and
Mhm,
hold you and then kill you or bite the back of your spine and then kill you because they want to eat you while you're dead. A
mhm.
dog will purposely avoid like vital organs, just so they can like they'll eat your stomach just so they can pull out your intestines so you can scream when you watch animals.
Mhm.
They'll eat the legs while they're alive. They'll bite the ass and just like chewing on it because they like the screaming and their tails are wagging.
Well, that's
And
why squeak toys have squeaks in them, to
yeah,
mimic the screaming of an
of an
animal.
animal. You have to
Mhm.
mimic, and then they get all excited and they're squeaky, squeaky, squeaky because something's
Yeah, that's
dying,
so gross.
and, and they're
That's
happy.
so
They're
gross.
like wagging their tail, like, "Oh, this is my
Yeah.
do rag is kind of coming apart."
Oh, no.
Yeah, Cujo. That's a movie that really bothered me.
Mhm.
What's
Speaking of
another?
realistic, let me just bring up a book really quick. If people like, I guess, like, scary, but is there any book that has scared you?
Book. When I was younger, I found the book The Exorcist to be like really disturbing.
Mhm.
The movie is like disturbing. People when they first saw it, in theaters, like people had heart attacks. A woman went into labor.
Yeah,
Somebody had a seizure because they've never seen anything like that.
so
Y-
dramatic.
because, well, I mean, you also have to think like the era.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It's just for me, I think it's just harder to find books scary, but one that I did find really like I think I told you earlier, like I was not facing away from my door when I was falling asleep. It's called Pen Pal, and it's about this man that like stalks this kid for like a super long time. But just the way that he like writes him letters, or
Yeah, go lay down.
he'll like leave a walkie-talkie to like talk to the kid. Um, and it's the creepiest thing because it could happen to anyone, and it most likely is happening to someone right now,
Yeah. What
and
is
it's
the
so creepy.
damn? What is that movie? With the semi truck. Do you remember that movie with
Joyride?
Joyride?
I love that movie. I
That
watched
movie.
it a couple months ago.
He was like candy
Candy cane,
cane,
so ridiculous.
candy cane. But when you look
Mhm.
at Paul Walker, you're like, of course, a truck. Um,
Yeah.
so he did that. He did a girl voice like so ridiculous. It's not like he was saying,
Yeah.
"Hello, my name is Natalie."
No,
Like
no.
he sounded like an actual girl.
Yeah, he
It
did.
was
He did.
crazy.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So The Exorcist scared me when I was younger. I was like, I don't know, like 9 when I read it.
Mhm.
Because in that book it was very detailed. Like, for example, when he had conversations with the demon, like the way the demon just like played games with him, and like said things and said horrible shit, knowing like the
Mhm.
struggles that this priest had. What's cool is that in the book, like the priest, he was an ex-boxer, he did all these things, and in the movie you don't really see much of that. Like, in the movie she vomits, right? And it like lands all over him, like, oh. In the book she vomits, and it says that his boxing instinct kicked in and he slipped and it missed his face, but like got a little bit on his sweater, so he's like in the bathroom just like washing that off. But the fact that it said his boxing instinct kicked in and he
Yeah,
dodged it.
little
and
details.
and then later, when he was struggling with his mother and his mother's voice, and she was basically saying like, why are you doing this to me, like in his mother's voice. And then he says that he caught that, because she starts mocking him and making something like the mother, and he said, your mother sucks cocks in it, says that to him,
Yeah.
like, yeah. So he says that he said he caught her with a crisp right hook. It's like, and I just imagine him just boom, just coming in with a hook and catching
Yeah.
a 11-year-old girl.
Can't talk
But
about someone's mom like that. Crazy.
yeah, yeah, moms are gold. So yeah, that book really disturbed me because it was so detailed.
Mhm.
And it was such a slow burn, because in the movie, the girl is up front, right?
Yeah.
It's all about the girl. In the book, the girl is in the background until the very end. It's more about the girl, but the whole time you have a murder being investigated. You have this priest, he's an alcoholic,
Yeah.
he hates the other priest, and even a priest sits with him, and the priest is like, he's like, oh, a lot of the priests don't like me around here and they think that I'm a homosexual. And then you have the priest, and he's saying like, no, man, let me give you a book to help you. And then he said this to get him out of his room because he couldn't stand him. And the
Yeah.
last thing he wanted was for rumors to spread about their relationship,
Yeah.
so
No, that's so ridiculous. But you don't see any of that in the movie.
no, they don't. No, of course they don't play any of that in a movie. So, but yeah, The Exorcist is a book that really bothered me. There was also another book that bothered me because I was younger when I read it. If I've talked about it maybe before, but it was called The Illustrated Man. And The Illustrated Man is a book about a guy who is traveling and he meets another fellow traveler, and they're going the same direction, right? And the traveler's like, "Hey, um, I'm headed over here." He says, "Would you, can you give me a ride?" He says, "I'll pay you." He gives him $150 right up front. So they get a hotel room together, like a motel. They have 2 beds, right?
Okay.
And the 2 beds, yeah, they're not sleeping in the same bed. So then the guy's just asking questions about his tattoos because he's covered from like head to toe in tattoos. And then he's talking. He's like, "Where'd you get these tattoos?" And he says, "I got them from a witch." And he says, "A witch that's a time traveler." And the guy's like, okay. And he was a little bit like uneasy, like weirded out. He says, I love these tattoos so much that when I find her again, he says, I'm gonna kill her. And then the guy was like, okay.
Well,
So he like basically sleeps facing him, and the guy's facing away from him in the bed, and he says that he grips. I don't remember what it was, something to attack him just in case.
yeah.
So the tattoos move like at night. He was like looking at them, and the tattoos they're all moving, and they're each telling an individual story. So the book is a collection of books of stories. I mean, like within
Hmm.
the book. So there's a story about a safari where this house is like a smart house, and the kids get bored, but the house eventually turns evil and like and like kills the parents, kills everybody. Another story is about like the end of the world, and like what would you do if like you knew that tonight was the story was called The Last Night of the World. And like what would you do if you knew it was the last night of the world? And that everybody's telling their stories, right? Of what they would do. And this couple decides they're just gonna go to bed like nothing was wrong. And he says they're both in bed together, and she whispers to him, I left the sink running, and they just giggle and they die. And so this whole thing's going on, right? And then
Hmm.
he looks at an illustration of himself and this tattooed man, and the tattooed man has his hands like around his throat and is killing him. So this is towards the end of the book. He's like, this motherfucker's gonna kill me. So
Hmm.
he stands up and he attacks the illustrated man, and he starts hitting him with this object. Finally, the illustrated man like gets overpowers him and starts to strangle him, and that's the end of the book. So what he was foreseeing was him attacking him,
Hmm.
and like the other, so
Like it was
that
gonna
book,
end that. It was gonna end that way anyway.
yeah, it was going to end that way anyway. So
Hmm.
that book disturbed me. I don't know why. Like just the concept of that. Maybe it's because he mentioned a witch. That did this
Yeah.
to him.
Maybe. There
So
and another book that's super weird. This is more. I think it's more like splatter punk. I don't know if you know what that is.
no, what is that?
Very like gory, very like graphic body horror type of like stuff.
Oh, like a
Um,
slat, like a slat, or what do they call that? The gore. Um,
like in a
the
movie. I guess it's like a snuff film, but for books.
Yes, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So there's movies out there that it's just violence for no
yeah.
reason, just senseless,
Hmm.
and people.
There's one that I watched not too long ago, but I don't I, ca- I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll just like put a picture of it, but it's a lot of body horror and it's kind of gross. But I mean, it was whatever. She's kind of like rotting from the inside out, and she ends up just like I don't want to put spoiler, but she ends up dying like in the end just by herself, like crawling all over the floor. It's weird.
Oh
Um,
wow.
but the book, it's called Cows, I think. No. Tender is the Flesh. Cows was also weird, but I didn't really care for it. Tender is the Flesh was super weird. It was kind of like they ran out of food and they kind of like resorted to eating people,
Oh,
you
okay.
know? And so they would go and like to like the meat market, and instead of being, like beef or like whatever, it was
It was
human meat.
people. Damn,
And
that's like Fish. Remember Fish told that
yeah,
story?
yeah. It's a super weird. It's a very like the whole book is weird. It's at the very end where I was like what is happening? Um because there's like they keep people pregnant also. It's very weird.
Yeah. No,
Very
so that keeping people pregnant. There's a book out there. It's called The Road. It's by Cormac McCarthy,
weird. Mhm.
and the Cormac McCarthy wrote books like All the Pretty Horses. He wrote Child of God, which is a fucking horrible book for those of you.
I'm reading it
Yeah, it's so
finally after you telling me like a million times.
yeah, the book is awful. So there's that. My favorite book is actually Blood Meridian, and that's by Cormac McCarthy, and it's so graphic. I think a lot of the stuff that and this is by the way in the 70s when people were not used to that, so a lot of his books were banned.
Yeah, I
Because
downloaded that one because you.
that one is a good one too. Like the gore in it is just horrible, especially for the era. But so there's a book called The Road, and The Road is post-apocalyptic, and it's about a father and his son.
Mhm.
And several times during the book, you know, the dad puts like a gun to the kid's head because he's like, they're gonna capture us and they're gonna do horrible shit to you. and then they're gonna kill you right after they killed me. So several times he has to make the decision, like, is this the time? Is this the time? And then
Mhm.
there's a scene in it where he's sitting there explaining to his son how to blow his brains out. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. You know. So anyway, in that book, they run through a group of people that are cannibals, and they keep women pregnant because they call them food factories,
Oh,
and
jeez.
it's talking about them like waiting for the woman to give birth, and as soon as she gives birth, they pull out the child and they begin to like roast them alive, and it's just like a horrible image, you know. So that kind of stuff, like the whole pregnancy and like their food factories, it's such a horrible reality because it happens in the world,
Mhm.
you know. And it's like in places like I don't know if it's as much now, but I remember in the early 2000s there was a place in Senegal which they found like a band of cannibals, and they
Mhm.
had pregnant women specifically for that. You know,
There's a movie also that has to deal with that too. Like they kind of just like keep women pregnant and then they just like take the babies obviously for food and things and then they use, like breast milk as like regular milk and it's what is it called? It's like the farm or animal farm or the animal or something having to do with the farm. Super weird also, gross, like body horror kind of just like nasty all around basically.
just disgusting. All
Mhm.
right, now we got to move on a little bit. So,
A little bit.
a little bit. So, what do you call those cult classics? Like, what is your films that you're like, this is, it's a cult classic? And I hate to be like one of those people that like, I like this movie. It was like, guess what? Fuckface, so does everybody else. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, no. Really popular ones. This Scream franchise is a really popular one that I like. Halloween, like the basic ones, that everybody says. But if I had to pick one, um, it would be Trick or Treat.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love that movie.
I like the little guy Sam.
I have a
Uh,
purse of his lollipop. It's cute. It's like the half-bitten lollipop. I have it right here, actually.
oh, you know what I found out?
What?
They wrote books on Trick or Treat, like offshoot, like with more of an origin story.
It's cute.
So, of like an origin story. They have comic books also now of that, like where they talk about like his origins, and
Hmm.
like him coming to the Americas, him in Ireland, because he's supposed to be like the spirit of like Halloween, like Sam Hain. He's supposed to be like the protector of the harvest and all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
So they talk about like his adventures, you know.
That movie, I'm pretty sure that one case was like one of the, because you know how that movie split up into like
Mhm.
three
Yeah,
storylines or whatever.
yeah,
The one with like the guy that feeds the kid candy, he dies. There's
yeah.
a what was his name?
I don't remember.
Um, but this man fed his child, um, I
Cyanide pixie stick.
yeah, pixie stick, like laced pixie stick, so that he could, die and collect insurance money.
Yeah, so he
Um,
was in debt
mhm.
and found the only way out. Fuck, it's so dark because
That's
this
so
is
gross.
this is your kid
Mhm.
over money.
Over
And
money.
you look at it and he 30,000 bucks, and he
30,000.
tried to kill his other ones too. He put his kid's life to him was worth 30, wasn't even enough to cover the debt that he
Mm-mm.
was in. He was
He
a
was
hundred
in
thousand dollar, right?
100,000. Yeah.
Did
And
did it say what it was? Was it like gambling or like bad
it
investments?
was probably like gambling and stuff like that, but they didn't say exactly what it was. Usually like big amounts like that is like a gambling addiction.
It's gambling, yeah.
Um or drugs. But he took out life insurance policies on his two children a couple like weeks or something before Halloween. And on Halloween, the kids were trick or treating with like a couple of their friends, and they were passing by a house, and they were like, "Oh, like there's no, there's nobody here giving out candy." And he's like, "Oh, like hold on, here, like the person inside gave me these for you guys." and he gives the daughter, the son, and I think 2 or 3 friends, some pixie sticks that are laced with poison. And the only kid that ate it, thankfully, even though it sucks because he was still, he was 8 years old.
Yeah.
But only one kid ate it, and the other kids ended up like leaving it in the bag. One of them had it in bed, but it was like unopened. Um, and obviously, unfortunately, that kid did
Yeah.
die, but they caught him really quickly.
Yeah, right away. And the
Hmm.
fact that he was going to kill other kids
Yep.
just
And
so that like it could cover his tracks, like, oh
yeah.
man, it wasn't. And that actually started a huge Halloween scare. So I remember when I was a kid, they still were like, oh, check your candy for razor blades, check them for
Hmm.
pills, check them
Yeah.
for, all these things.
And
I
in
was
trick
told
or
this,
treat, that's one of the things is always
yeah,
trick or candy.
yeah, check the
Hmm.
candy. That guy killed kids in the
Yeah,
movie.
he did, and he had his son help too,
Yeah.
with the
Um,
decapitated kid in the basement.
so that so that little character, Sam, a lot of like the voodoo dolls and all the stuff that I base like somewhat of like his design
He's so
because
cute.
I like it. I like that. I don't know what it is.
I have a like a little. It's like he has like different hands, different heads, like a
Like a
lollipop and stuff
like a
like that.
little like a
It's like
little
an
action
action
figure.
figure. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. But I got that years and years ago. It's just kind of like sitting there though. I never take it out, but I
Has he
like
that,
it.
have you heard the origin story like that movie about the guy who
Um,
had this idea? I think he had a dream. He said, and then he started doodling just like random shit, and he doodled this. He's like, I have an idea. Like this could be a short film, and they looked at it and they're like, this design is too stupid. Like it looks like it's just a burlap sack, and he goes, "That's what it is."
it is. It's so cute.
And I'm just like, "This isn't scary at all." Like why would you? So then he tried it out. He's like, "I'm gonna try it." So then he like made like a short film, and people are like, "This is fucking amazing."
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
and
he
then
kills people with his lollipop.
yeah. So anyway, so moving on, the Halloween franchise for me, I like them. Michael Myers, just that whole thing. The first one was pretty good, but the John Carpenter,
Hmm.
he his idea for the Halloween franchise was supposed to be not just Michael Myers. I was listening to an interview with him, and he wanted it to be like a series with like different horror stories, like every time he pulls out a film. So that's why in the first one they killed him, like Dr. Loomis,
Hmm.
who was a psycho himself, the worst doctor in the world,
Yeah.
fucking shoots him in the face, kills him. So and that was supposed to be the end. Then you had Halloween 2, and then you had Halloween 3, which is one of my favorites. It's Season of the Witch.
Hmm.
So they talk a little bit about this stone, this magical stone, and they go into like blood sacrifices and the holiday of Samhain and all that kind of stuff. Samhain and so they go a little bit into that and how they wanted blood sacrifices, so the gods would randomly select somebody and put like an emblem, which was usually on a mask.
Hmm.
So like if you ever look at old like Norse mythology, like Loki had like these almost like servants of some kind, and it was like a cult, and they wore masks. So like the movie The Mask, that wooden mask, it
Hmm.
was kind of like that, only they had like symbols all over them. So that's what Michael Myers
Doesn't it have some when it like connects to his face? Doesn't it glow and it has like some
yep,
like patterns or something?
it has patterns. So anyway, so they go into that, and then it turns into like a sci-fi film because they had like robots and androids and all these kind
Yeah.
of things. Because this guy was like a worshiper of the old gods, and there was magic and all kinds of shit. So in Halloween, the Curse of Michael Myers, it's a callback to the Season of the Witch, and they talk about the Curse of Thorn, which was
Hmm.
basically what that one was talking about. How Michael Myers, that's why he has like in the movie, in that one he has like a brand or it's a tattoo, and it has that symbol, and that's why he's invincible. That's why he's unkillable. Is because the person with that mark, he's supposed to be like the priest to the gods to like sacrifice.
Hmm.
So in season of the witch, they talk about the big bloodbath in Ireland, in the 1600s. There was a giant bloodbath, and this person wasn't killed, but just killed children, animals, everybody. And the gods were appeased because it was like a big offering to them. So Michael Myers was supposed to be like there, that's why he came back every Halloween, you
Hmm.
know, to kill people. And he was
Yeah,
unkillable. You killed him, you shot him, you set him on fire, you electrocuted him, and he came back because he's unkillable.
like Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, like the creeper. What happened with the director? Like he was like a pervert or something.
I don't
Like
even know.
so, like
I
people are like fuck the creeper, and it's like, oh, that's how you
yeah,
should feel about all creepers. Um,
yeah.
so Michael Myers, that's like one that I like, because he's just so silent, so quiet.
And like what about the other ones that are not um towards, like leaning to the paranormal side? Like the first one, 78.
Oh, the other, so like the Rob Zombie ones.
Or just the normal ones, like the first one.
Yeah, I didn't like that one as much because to me, being crazy could help you somewhat because when you're insane,
Hmm.
your neurons don't fire the way they should, so like your pain receptors are extremely dulled. So I can kind of see that, but when somebody shoves like a coat hanger in your eye and then
Hmm.
stabs you, you're not gonna keep going. So as a psycho, like what would have what I would have liked would be if that movie also had tits in the beginning. So what I liked about that movie was like, okay, he's this guy,
Wait,
he's
what did you say?
crazy. Oh, it doesn't matter. Um, so he did all these things, but I would have loved if they didn't like spend the movie like actually hurting him the way they did. Like if let's
Yeah.
say he got away, or if they try to stab him and he like kind of moved or whatever, and he was pursuing them, and then
Hmm.
towards the end when they killed him, like okay, that makes sense because at
Yeah.
that point he's like superhuman and he's supposed to be just a regular guy,
Yeah. He's
you
being
know.
like stabbed and shot throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, and then he keeps like just walking,
Getting
doesn't
up.
even run, just walk. Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's the Undertaker.
Hmm.
Um, Jason, like the Friday the 13th, I like the first one because it's the same concept of it's a grieving mother that went insane and she blames camp counselors and she just starts killing them, you know.
You know which ones I do not like?
Which
Those
ones?
weird like Freddy versus Jason. I don't like that.
I like those.
I don't like it. Or like
I don't,
what was it? They were like in space or something. Like
oh, Jason X.
I don't like that.
I like the design of Jason, not the metal one. I like the when he was like just the killer.
Yeah,
I didn't like but yeah, that got a little bit too,
it
too
gets
out
out of
there for me.
hand.
The Freddy versus Jason, I enjoyed it because the Jason design was pretty cool.
Hmm.
Um, but Freddy Krueger, like, come on, like Freddy Krueger, like dukes it out with Jason. Like, there's no way he would have been able to. Freddy Krueger, because all the Freddy Krueger movies, they all end the same. At some point, people realize that they're dreaming and they just kick his ass. And like
Hmm.
that's the movie in all of them. They're like,
Yeah,
hey, Freddy, and they start punching him. He's like, oh,
it
oh.
wouldn't. It
Oh
wouldn't
my
even.
face! Don't hit me right there! And they like kick him in the nuts.
Yeah, that's how he sounds.
Yeah, is that
I,
what he sounds like?
not really. I feel
Welcome to
like it
prime
would.
time, bitch.
I feel like it would never work with me. One, I don't really sleep too much, but also I'm like very aware in my sleep. So
Okay.
like the majority of the time that I'm dreaming, like I know that I'm
You're
dreaming.
you're lucid dreaming.
Yeah, like I know I'm not, actually falling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, I love energy drinks. I don't know if you know that.
Hmm.
I drink so many energy drinks to like stay awake and stay active that one time I caught Freddy Krueger sleeping in a party. I was like, "Wake up, dog! The cops are here." You know,
He has to sleep sometime.
yeah, that's what I was going. I was like, "Wake up, dog! The fucking cops are here."
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, no, the Freddy movies I didn't like. A lot of people like them. They're like, "Oh, Freddy, he's pretty cool. He was a rapist." So
He
it's like,
was.
so I didn't
He
like that.
was a rapist or like a pedophile. And like
In a
people are
pedophile,
like, I love Fred. Like, why?
he was
Dude,
a
I mean, honestly, I do have a Freddy Krueger like a Krueger sweater. Have you seen? I don't know if I. Okay, I have it. I just never wear
I
it.
I don't want to see it.
I never wear it.
I never want you to wear that.
I never wear it. It's been in
I,
my closet for.
I want you to throw that away.
It's been in my closet for like 3 years or something.
Never ever. Not even if there's a fire. Um. No, the Freddy movies I can never get into. You know what movie? Um. Really got me like when I was younger.
Wait, got you? How? What do you mean?
Like it didn't like scare me or everything. It just like got me like rooting for the bad guy in the movie.
Which one?
Carrie.
You know. Okay. Did you like the remake?
I I don't think I watched it.
No. So I actually did kind of like it. Usually I don't like the remakes of things. Um but I did actually kind of like that one.
Is it
Um
because of the special effects?
maybe. But like the girl just looks creepy. She has like a
Who is
voice. I don't know her name. Let me see her name.
Oh,
Oh,
I know
over
what you're
there.
talking about. So there was Carrie, and then in the 90s they came out with the Rage Carrie 2. And
Okay. So it's not the original one. It's I can't even find it now. Maybe I made it up in my head.
no, I think there's 3 movies. There's the Rage Carrie 2,
Mhm.
and I remember the ad. I never watched that movie, but I remember when I was a kid, there was a commercial for it, and they're like, "You have a gift, Carrie," and she goes, "What?" Telekinesis, and then she like finds out that she has telekinesis, just starts fucking everybody up. You know, because
Yeah.
she's
This
um
in the one in the very beginning, she like smashes like a mug or something. Like she like like
yeah,
off the desk or whatever.
yeah.
That's
Then I
the
did
one
see that
that
one. I
yeah,
did
that's
see
the one
that
that I'm
one.
talking about.
See, with me is I'm such a loser that
Mhm.
when the cool kids,
Mhm.
are you done?
Yeah.
When the cool kids when they dump pig's blood all over me, I just sit there.
Yeah.
I don't get powers at all. I just
Yeah, me neither.
no,
I
but
think it looks cool.
that movie, like it bothered me, and because I'm like, why are they so mean to her? And it has a young John Travolta who's a bad guy.
Mhm.
You know, he's like, go ahead, I don't even want to dance with you anymore. You know, and it has like a
Okay, it's the 2002 one. Angela Bettis or something.
oh,
She has
I
a
don't know.
creepy face. Actually, I
Oh.
just watched a movie with her in it the other day. It's called May. Super weird. I don't know if you've seen
Hmm.
it, but
Probably not. Probably not. I, t-
basically
I
she's
I tend to avoid like movies with like months in them, with like the
with
name of a
what?
month, with the name of a month in it. I tend to avoid it.
Oh, okay. I thought you
So
said butts. I was like, why?
no.
Like, no, I want.
So like if there's ever a movie and it's like we are now back to April, I just turn it off
Mm,
and I leave the house.
yeah,
Just in case I don't want to see it.
yeah.
So Carrie, I was kind of like, damn. You know what's funny is about the movie Carrie is that they didn't know like when they presented the screenplay to the woman playing the mom, she
Hmm.
thought it was a comedy. You know, she didn't know because there's a line where she says, "I can see your dirty pillows," you know,
Oh,
and she started laughing, right? And she starts
yeah.
laughing. They're called breast, mama.
Dirty
Um,
pillows.
dirty pillow. So she laughed and she said, "This is a funny movie," and they're like, "It's not supposed to be funny." And then she kept reading, and she's like, "Oh shit."
Wait
You
till you
know,
get to the closet scene.
yeah. Well, that movie, it was just like I think what bothered me also, I can't watch it again because it's a movie about basically child abuse.
Hmm.
Somebody getting mentally, emotionally, and then physically abused, you
Yeah,
know, and
there
then
and at school.
yep, at home at school. Because it's also a sad reality for a lot of kids out there. You know,
Yep.
they're weird because they're emotionally and mentally shut down because they don't have a good home life. They go to
Hmm.
school and then they're victimized at school. The teachers don't give a fuck.
No,
You know, teachers don't care.
no.
So this kid lives a life of like perpetual, you know, abuse,
Misery.
misery, abuse.
Misery. Uh-huh.
Misery's a good one.
I like that one.
Um, you ever seen that Pink video where she's acting like the lady from Misery?
No.
I forget what it's like. I think the song's like "Please Don't Leave Me," and like the music video is like this guy. He's like getting up, and then she's like taking care of him, but then she like smashes his legs with a hammer. So
Hmm,
he doesn't.
maybe. I don't know. I'll have to see after.
That actress in the movie, Misery.
Hmm.
I think they put the perfect actress
Yep,
to be with the character from
they
the book
did.
because
They did.
she's a really good actor because she was kind of
Hmm.
like she played like a nice like fan,
Yeah.
but then it was believable. There was something off. Like, damn,
Hmm.
something's off about you.
She just
I
has
didn't.
she has a really like she looks like a nice old lady, and then she can also have just like a really creepy, you know, face, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, what's usually like the type of movie that she comes out in? She come out in
Um.
like softer type of
She
like more
comes.
normal things.
She has like so many different wide ranges. Like for example, she played Bobby Boucher's mom. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
um.
That's
She she played Bobby Boucher's mom. She played like an upper class lady in Titanic.
mhm.
She was in the movie The Blind Side. She played like the tutor. And
She
she
was
was
in
in a
Dolores Claiborne.
yeah. It's so many different like her acting range is really good. So in that movie, it was
Mhm,
perfect. Also because she looked like physically strong enough to where if you're hobbled, you're
yeah,
gonna have a hard time like with her
mhm,
because she has her weight, her weight on you, and
yeah.
that's a lot of weight to be on you.
Yeah.
What? So anyway, yeah. So the kid, that's a movie that got me, not for the like, oh, it's so scary, but because like I got sucked into like this
Yeah.
fucking poor kid,
Mhm.
and as a kid, like finally, and then you feel like I felt dirty like after
Yeah.
because she goes off and she starts killing people, and then you're like, yeah, get them, and then you
Yeah.
get excited like when she starts like murdering people, but then you know you're like, what the fuck am I doing?
I need to read that book, both Misery and Dolores Claiborne. I have both. Dolores Claiborne's kind of hard to read.
Yeah, what do you think that is? You think it's because of the language or like it's
Mhm.
slower?
Like the way that she speaks. I got I tried to read it over again. I got like a couple chapters in, and I was like, nah, I can't. Like my eyes are
So
just like hurting.
some books are like that. A lot of them because
Mhm.
they're just like barely leaving, like almost like they're trying to like pull back to Elizabethan English, and it's like
Yeah,
it's
it's
such a hard
weird.
it's such a hard thing because you're like, damn, like I can't.
Hmm.
Uh, Damn, what's another book that's kind of like that?
Another.
Very very early Charles Dickens, like before it was like they redoed the language. Like some of his shit was like pretty hard to read because you're like, what the like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, it's okay. So, like, if you read the King James version of the Bible, some of that language is I like it because it sounds so intricate and so like elegant, but some of the words are like harder to grasp, and it's like, okay, especially if
That's
you're younger.
why. That's why I like the message. It's very modern. Like you're reading
Yeah.
it.
So, like for example, in the Psalms, like when David is expressing depression, and he says, why are you so disquieted within yourself? You know,
Yeah. No.
and I get what he's saying, but I think it sounds elegant, but it's also like often like, okay, like, but I like it. I want to start using it, but then I would seem insane. Like, how you feel? I'm feeling very disquieted. I'm like, what?
Be like,
you
are
know?
you drunk or like what's
Yeah.
happening?
Like, oh, how specious the heart is of man. Like, okay,
Yeah.
specious. You look up in a dictionary, like, oh, it's, appearing to have a ring of truth, but is actually a lie.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Can you imagine?
so,
It's ridiculous.
so yeah, just shit like that. Let's see. Damn, it's almost time.
Almost.
So it's almost time. What's another book, another movie that got you? Let's go with Supernatural. What's a book that movie or book that was like,
Supernatural. I not too long ago watched the movie um Tarot. So okay, so more supernatural, I don't really remember them too much. Like Insidious I liked, I remember that. Um it's just I'm more of like the gory, like horror type of watcher
yeah,
rather like over paranormal and stuff. But tarot had a lot of both.
Yeah, I like supernatural and paranormal over like more realistic because
Yeah,
it's hard for me to get into the whole thing. Like with the Scream movies, like I would beat his ass. Like
yeah,
all of them. Like I don't give a shit which one that even when there's multiple ones, like I'll fuck them all up, you
yeah.
know.
I mean, there's
And
three in one of them.
yeah, I'd
It's a
fuck all
lot of
three of
people.
them.
Yeah. Have you
Um,
seen that movie? Tarot?
which one? No, I've
Heard of it?
from you.
Oh, um, yeah. So basically, what happens? I don't know if I told you earlier, like what happens in it, but they go into this house and they find a tarot deck, and one of the girls is like, "Oh, like let me do everybody's reading," like, haha, it's all jokes. I think there's like one or two people that are like, "I don't want anything to do with that. Like, don't do it." Um, like you don't know who it belonged to, whatever. So the girl ends up doing it to a bunch of people. The cards are cursed. And so everybody that she gave a reading to ends up dying in the way that the card showed that they were going to die.
Oh shit! Can you imagine the
Mhm.
Hanged Man?
Yeah. Yeah, I think actually one did get that, but yeah, it's weird.
you
If they were like mine, it would be kind of cute. But they were but like they were weird cards.
Yeah, the movie. You know what? In the same element as that, there was another movie that came out. There was actually two. Um, there was the original movie that was called Ouija.
Mhm.
And that one was like, fuck, what is that? Like late '80s, maybe. You gotta look that up because I don't remember like when that was. That's gonna bother me. And then they remade it, and there was another one. This one was also called Ouija, but everybody called it Ouija.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you ever heard of a Ouija board? And it's like that's not how you say it.
There was that one is 2014, maybe? Is that the one that you're talking about?
Yeah, the remake Ouija, and everybody's like,
Yeah.
oh, let's go play with a Ouija board, and it's like that's not how you say it.
Um, there's one called Witchboard, and that was in 1986.
That's probably the one I'm thinking about.
Okay.
And that
Yeah.
one, I remember they were like playing with that bothered me as a kid too. They were playing like at the Ouija board, and then this guy's like, "Send me a sign." All of a sudden, like his car that's parked outside, the tires explode,
Yeah.
and the
No,
guy's
like
like, "Huh."
movies like that are weird. Okay, so like the Final Destination movies, how like this guy's like, "Oh, like this is how you're going to die, whatever," and then it happens. Like those are weird to me. Not scary ever. It's really hard to find a movie that actually like scares me. Um but on the paranormal side, I guess like it would be creepy to die. Like I said, like with mine, like it would be cute. That probably doesn't make sense, but it's because they're bunnies. Like, hold on, watch. I'm gonna show one. Okay, like look
Yeah,
at that. That would be
yeah, that's
cute. I still wouldn't want to die, like that. But um, those are weird to me. Like the whole like how you're gonna die. You're kind of just waiting for it.
yeah. Fuck, there was a movie like that. What? You ever seen the movie The Omen?
Really, really, really long time ago.
Yeah, so there's the original one, and there's the remake. The remake actually wasn't that bad. Like
Mhm.
I didn't think it was that bad. The part that was kind of creepy was I remember I was like, "It's all for you, Damien. It's
Yeah,
all for you." And she hangs herself at a kid's party, and all the kids start screaming.
I don't like movies. Okay, that's one thing I guess that does freak me out, or like children in those types of movies. Except for Children of the Corn, that one was not scary at all. But
Children of
um,
the Corn was that one was cool.
yeah,
Um,
I like that one was
wasn't
cool.
the kid's name also Damien?
The main one,
Yeah, what was his name?
Isaac.
Isaac. It was. He
Mhm.
was like, "Get the fuck out! It's gonna punish you!" And eventually,
Yeah,
you
he was
know,
weird.
yeah, that guy was a midget. Like he wasn't.
He was wearing like a Pharrell hat. Weird. And his face. Oh my god, his face was so creepy.
Well,
Anyway,
he could. It's because he was a grown man. Like he
yeah,
wasn't
he was
really a
like
kid.
100. Yeah, it was
It was
weird.
like it was 100. He was like the first man they ever found. And they're like, "Hey, you want to be in a movie?"
It was super weird, yeah. But that one didn't scare me. The ones with like kids, like creepy little kids, like in The
Children of the
Shining.
Damned.
Hmm?
Have you ever seen Children of the Damned?
I don't think so.
That's a movie you gotta watch. You gotta watch the original one. I think was a Twilight Zone episode. But you gotta watch the movie. It's actually it's pretty fucking good. All the kids have like white hair. Everybody got pregnant at the same time in this town,
Oh,
and
they
they had
all
like
they all looked really like no
they all look,
pigment.
yeah, all look the same, and
Hmm.
they could like infiltrate your thoughts, read your mind,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah,
communicate.
yeah.
And there's a scene where the mom is cooking, like this little chinita. She's cooking, and her daughter's just staring at her, like from the high chair, and then just staring at her. And then the mom just like grabs like her hand, and she just like shoves it inside like the boiling water, and just like burns her hand, and she's screaming. And then
Jeez,
she's like, I don't know why I did. And it was the daughter that was making her do it. Then
making her do it.
eventually the mom's like watching TV or something, and then the daughter's just like standing behind her, just staring at her. And then the mom like gets up off the couch and just like walks to the edge of a cliff and just hurls herself off of it. And that movie, I don't know if you guys have seen. If spoiler alert, this movie's like over 30 years old. So like if you guys like haven't, but there's one boy that's he's a good the only good one, and he loves his mom and he tells him like what's happening. So then they decide that they're gonna hold like a little meeting in school, and somebody's gonna sacrifice himself to like
Hmm.
kill all these kids because they're evil. So this guy sits down in a class. He's their teacher, and he has a bomb in his briefcase. And he's like, "Hello, class, today." And he's like talking, and he's sweating. And one of the girls just like leans in, and she looks at him, and she says, "You're hiding something." And then he's like sweating, and then he's like picturing like a brick wall in his head because they're trying to like read his thoughts.
Hmm.
So he's sitting there and the wall's like beginning to crumble, and he's just like waiting out the time, right? So he's just like constantly sweating, and then the kids are staring at him like, what is it? And they're all like now leaning forward, and now there's like drills like drilling into that brick wall. Finally the wall comes down in his mind, and they see the bomb and they gasp, and then the fucking whole place blows up, kills all of them.
Jeez,
Still know the day
ridiculous.
end. Let's see. That movie was pretty creepy.
Hmm.
Another one that people really like was it Signs with the cornfield and Mel
Hmm.
Gibson,
I
and
like
there's a conspiracy that they weren't aliens at all, they were demons,
that. Hmm.
because the water.
The water.
And it wasn't just water. It was like water that was near a holy relic. If somebody prays near the water, like it burned them.
And
It was
there's that
almost,
creepy little girl that's leaving water everywhere.
yeah.
It's
So
the children. They freak me out.
one last movie, and then we gotta end it.
One
Okay.
last movie. Pick it.
The Others.
I love that movie.
I used to have it on VHS. I watched it in
I
theaters
love
too.
that movie. I
That
need to watch
was
it, actually. I need to find it and
Yeah.
watch it.
I like the fact that it's like an old Victorian farmhouse
Mhm.
with the skeleton
Yep.
keys and those heavy doors, and
Mhm.
the whole movie was so dark because the kids were not allowed to have sunlight because they were sick,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So then the whole movie was dark because it took place indoors with the curtains shut,
Yep.
and she would go into like, and she was instructing these people that just appeared out of the fog, you know, and she was like, before you exit
Super weird.
any door, lock the
Mhm.
door behind you, be
Yeah.
sure to lock. And it was just so weird because the house was like haunted, like little things were happening here and there.
Mhm.
And the mom, you could tell, was a little bit unhinged, but like overprotective.
Yeah.
This was around World War II, you know. So the husband coming home, and she's like, I thought you were dead. Like, I gotta tell it, whatever. And then he
Mhm.
comes home and they have sex, and then he's gone,
Yep.
you know. And then at some point, she starts hearing doors shut and slam, and she grabs the shotgun and she's just yelling, going through the house, and she's like,
Mhm.
I will not have any Nazis in this house, like screaming shit that I scream on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Well, only with me, it's communists. Will
Yep.
not have any communists in my house. And I'm just like,
Communists, Democrats.
yeah, Democrats, all same shit. The
Mhm.
AK-47 is going from door to door, room to room. Um, so the movie was really dark, and then you had and it's always a fog. Like when they're outside, it's always foggy. There's
Yeah.
never like, wow, what a nice day.
Yeah.
It's almost like when they're in the house, there's sunlight. that the kids are not allowed to go to.
They're, like, walking around with candles all the time.
Yep, with candles because it's dark. The
Yep.
mom was like threatening them, like, you have to obey or you go to children's limbo. And the mom's like, the daughter's like, I read the Bible, mom. Children do not go, there's no children's limbo. And then the mom's like,
Yeah.
So then you start seeing like creepy old ladies, start hearing voices, you start hearing these things. And the famous scene that always gets everybody is, are you mad? I am your daughter, and
Yep.
attacks her. You're not my, and then it's like and
creepy
it's
little girl again.
and it's the little girl, and she's like, Mom, you're wicked. And
It's
then
like when she was playing with like the doll or whatever, her hands looked all old and weird, right?
yeah, and she was wearing like a veil over her
Yeah.
face, and she smiled at her with an old lady face.
Yep.
And it was so like creepy. You're like, what the fuck? And then you realize that they're dead, and it was a revelation at the end.
Yep.
Because all the doors were unlocked, and she was like, why are these doors unlocked? All the curtains were open, they were drawn, and there was sunlight, and the kids were screaming because the sunlight's hitting them, but nothing's happening.
Yeah.
and
But it's just that alive people moved into that house.
And opened it. And then they're talking about the story of the house, and they're like, what happened in this house? And she said, a woman's husband went to war, he died, she was grieving, she went insane, she drowned her kids. She drowned her kids and then shot herself.
Yep.
And that's what happened in this house. And then you're like, holy shit.
Twist at the end.
Yeah. You're watching, you're like, what the fuck did I just watch?
I watched it when I was really young, and like those scenes did creep me out. I did like the scene where like they're running in the room, like it's like the person that's alive, obviously, and like the ghosts like fighting over, closing and opening the curtains. They're like, oh, this is my house, or whatever it is. I remember that scene very vividly.
And then the mom is finally holding the kids, and that I think they're in the stairs, right? Because they're doing a seance, trying to figure out what's going on. So they're holding the kids, and they're like, "This house is ours," and that's like what these people hear, like the house is ours. They're like, oh, and that's all they're repeating. This house is ours, and it was so dark, and it makes you thinking, like, what if that's what happens? Wait, what if we're dead now and you just don't know?
I'm not. Well, maybe I am, and that's what I keep hearing is the person.
I'm not either. If I was dead, would I be able to like pull off some badass promos like I did in the beginning of the show?
No, probably not.
No, not at all. I want.
What if whatever's in my house thinks it's alive?
Oh, what if you're the one that's dead?
No.
And then
that audio that I sent you a long time ago, that was not me.
Yeah, that was crazy. Weird. That was weird. It was like.
And then the one time that you heard like that weird whisper.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
Yep. I was like, I heard that too. I don't know. I don't know what that was.
Yeah. It was like, hello.
No. Okay. Enough.
What's crazy about that, really quick before we end the show, about the others is that I live in a house where the doors are very much like that. They're heavy oak doors. One of the doors one time got stuck because the hardware is ancient. It's made of brass. Brass and iron is what these they're not like the flimsy copper that we use now and other kind of soft metals.
Yeah.
So the door, I had shut it, and there's a little latch with a skeleton key that you gotta turn to like make it pop up, and it popped up. So I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to get into that room. So then I kicked the door and I bounced off of it. So then I did a running spinning kick, and I kicked as hard as I could, and it was loud. The house shook. Boom! Door remained shut. Didn't even put a scratch in it. So what I had to do is I had to go outside, climb through the window, find the key because it was on the other side, because those keys are removable.
Yeah.
And it was rusted, so I couldn't just poke it through because it was lost. So I had to like pry it, like pull it off, and then stick it back in there, then unlock it. And like, clack. You hear the loud clack, like where it shuts. So when you look at this this old house, it reminds me a lot of that house. It's like these places were like meant to last.
Yeah, but those are the types of doors that you want right now.
Yeah. That's what so yeah. Anyway, all right. So this was a good episode. I had fun.
It's fun.
For a minute there, I forgot we were recording.
Me too.
So, anyways, guys, yeah, check us out on our Facebook page. Go ahead and check us out. TikTok, this, of course. Like and subscribe, share the show. T Public, get yourself a hoodie, a mug, and all those kind of shitty things. So,
Mhm.
anyway, that's about it. So remember, guys, to always look both ways, especially when you're crossing. Ew, when you're crossing, especially if you find yourselves on Radio Road.
Crossing.